In the beginning, there was nothing. Nothing to hear, nothing to feel, nothing to see, only emptiness and darkness. But God was there, and He had a wonderful plan. God hovered over the deep, silent darkness and began to create. God spoke, and whatever He said happened. God spoke light into the darkness and created the day and night. God created the sky and the sea. He created land and the plants that covered it. God spoke life into the animals. God saw all that He had made and loved them. And they were lovely because He loved them. But God saved the best for last. From the beginning, God had a plan to make people to be His children, and the world would be their perfect home. So God spoke life into Adam, and then Eve. God loved them with all His heart. God looked at everything He had made and declared it good, and it was. But all the stars and the mountains and oceans and everything were nothing compared to how much God loved His children. He would move heaven and earth to be near them, always. Whatever happened, whatever it cost Him, He would always love them. Adam and Eve lived happily together in their new home, and everything was perfect for a while. You see, God had an enemy. His name was Satan, and he had once been the most beautiful angel. But he didn't want to be just an angel. He wanted to be God. Satan grew full of pride, evil, and hate. He was sent out of heaven, and because of that, looked for a way to corrupt God's plan. So he disguised himself as a snake and waited. God had given Adam and Eve only one rule: don't eat the fruit on the tree of knowledge. The snake saw his chance and slithered up to Eve and whispered words of doubt into her. Eve believed the lies of the snake and picked the fruit and ate it, and then gave it to Adam, and he also ate it. They became aware of the wrong they had done and were ashamed. They ran and hid from God in the shadows. God was sad because His children hadn't just broken the one rule, they had broken their relationship with Him. And so sin came into God's perfect world, and it would never leave. God's children would always be running away from Him and hiding in the dark. But God had a plan. One day, He would get His children back. One day, He would make the world their perfect home again. One day, God would send a light into the world to show His children the way back to Him.